Here's my ranking for the 5 best lightsaber fights in Star Wars and the 5 worst. Specifically, Anakin and Obi-Wan vs. Count Dooku, this fight has a lot of flaws, and I think that was partly due to the fact that they were going to fight again in the next movie. So yeah, there's some dumb decisions that are made in this fight. I don't really like the choreography in this fight that much. It definitely feels like it lacks emotional weight as well, and obviously this was part of the story, but it would have been cooler to see a 2v1 than rather a 1v1 with Obi-Wan and Dooku. But again, we got that in Revenge of the Sith. Speaking of which, comes in at number 5 for the best. This has always been one of my favorite, most entertaining lightsaber battles. It's pretty quick, but there's a lot of action in the time that it spans. These 3 are clearly at their height, clearly at their prime, all 3 of them. And honestly, while showcasing Anakin's skill, it also showcases his character development down the wrong path. And not only does Anakin showcase that he can beat Dooku, but it also shows plenty of decisions that further the story of Star Wars. Now, from an objective point of view, obviously this is one of the worst fights. It's the first one ever. I'll cut him some slack. I know it wasn't meant to be super insane choreography, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a boring fight still. I understand that the emotional weight is what carries this fight. Obviously, Obi-Wan versus Anakin, and then we see Luke sees Obi-Wan pass away. But basing it off the fight itself, I'm going to put it here. Yeah, this fight was obviously the pinnacle moment of the original trilogy. This showcased the character that Luke had become, as well as Darth Vader. I think this fight's heavily underrated. I find it extremely entertaining still. And it's a pretty long fight as well. I always like when lightsaber fights go the duration that it needs to be. I think this is definitely the best fight from the sequel trilogy. We've been over this hundreds of times, but I'm not sure what Disney was really thinking with the choreography style. It just was kind of a slow motion compared to the prequel trilogy and even the original trilogy at times. Just not my cup of tea. Not often does one big scene carry an entire movie, and I think that's the case for The Phantom Menace. The Duel of the Fates fight carries the movie pretty heavily in my opinion. I can appreciate the development throughout the movie to make this fight as awesome as it was. Yeah, there's not much to say. The soundtrack, the setting, everything about this, Darth Maul, is clearly one of the best. Yeah, another sequel fight finds itself in the bottom 3 for the worst lightsaber fights, and it was just very underwhelming considering Kylo Ren was supposed to be the next big bad. He ends up losing to Rey with no training. It just didn't really make sense. At number 2 for the best, to no one's surprise, Luke vs. Vader number 1. This was the first big fight in the original trilogy, therefore making it the first big fight in Star Wars in general, and could arguably be one of the most iconic movie moments ever. At number 1 for the worst fight, if you consider that, it's The Last Jedi's fight between Luke and Kylo Ren. Very minimal display of lightsaber action anyway. I'm not totally sure what this was or what they were trying to go for. I mean, I know what they were going for, but in terms of action and entertainment, I don't know why we did this. And at number 1, for the best lightsaber fight, I think this is undisputed Anakin vs. Obi-Wan on Mustafar. By far the coolest choreography we've ever seen in movies, period.